Hello and welcome to 40 Entrepreneur Drive. I'm your host, Kenya. Before we get into the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep up with my new uploads on the channel. And also, hit the like button to let me and YouTube know what a fine job I'm doing. If you don't like the video or have something else to tell me, be sure to voice your opinion in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Every step into the future, it seems we get more technology. And every time we get more technology, it seems like we get more convenience. And every time we get more convenience, it seems like we get more unemployment. What do I mean? Keep watching to find out. This is my angry face. I'm not a happy camper right now. The robots are taking over. First, Kroger, which I was going to make a video about, but I didn't. Now I'm at Home Depot. I have to check myself out. I'm doing some shopping for my front room renovation, and change is good sometimes. I like some of the changes that they've made here, but why do I have to check myself out? Look at it. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. I don't want to do this. I want a human being. Yeah, I don't really like this setup, so I feel like more and more it's really important for people to have skills, monetizable skills, expert skills, some type of specialized skills, because artificial intelligence and convenience machines are taking over jobs more and more. I've been meaning to make a video about this for a while now. Wingstop, McDonald's, my local Kroger, and now my local Home Depot are increasing the amount of self-checkouts, which I don't think is a good thing. I don't think it's convenient at all. Okay, so I just took my last video clip that I wanted to show you guys here at my local Wingstop. I kind of got caught red-handed because as I was taking my initial video through the window, since it's the middle of the day and nobody's really out yet, who should pull up behind me but the manager of the store. And I guess I might have been looking suspicious or whatever, but she was like, can I help you? And I told her what I was doing. I said, oh, I'm just taking video because I kind of got this thing against self-checkout. There they go. I kind of got this thing against self-checkout, and I'm just taking some footage for a YouTube video that I'm putting together. And she's like, hey, well, come on in. And so I ended up taking a picture, well, a video of myself close up. And of course I did the whole thumbs down thing. And I was telling her how I was at Home Depot this morning, and that's kind of where this video kicked off, is when I was making my purchase there. And I was looking at the marvelous changes that they were making in there, some nice upgrades to make it look nice and posh. However, part of those upgrades were updating the self-checkout, which has been a part of Home Depot for a while. However, instead of just scanning your items, now they give you the scanner. They give you the handheld scanner to be able to scan your items. And to me, that was like crossing the line, and it just, I don't know why, but it pushed my buttons and it made me really upset. So I was asking the girl there, like, how do you feel about this? And she said, whatever. And I was just asking the manager here, like, well, how do you feel about, you know, the self-checkout? And she's like, well, really, it's not self-checkout. The incubators are just there for the food. However, they are taking our cash registers away. And I'm thinking, but that's taking jobs away. And she says, well, I'm a cook, so it doesn't really affect me. Yes and no. It's like, at what point does it stop? What if it becomes to a point where Wingstop and any other food place is able to somehow use AI to actually prepare the food, and then there's no human interaction? I don't know if that will actually happen at some point, but I thought that was interesting that the lady at the Home Depot said, you know, it's kind of whatever. And then the manager now said, well, I'm a cook, so it doesn't really affect me. I think it affects all of us. However, check out the other footage where I am pulling up to my local Wells Fargo ATM, which there are two different things going on there. You have the ATM, which is basically a self-service thing, and then you have the tellers. Now, the thing about ATMs is that they're open 24 hours. So it's a modern convenience that helps when a business is not open. The same thing with the Dropbox clip that I showed you guys for one of my latest eBay purchases that I dropped in a Dropbox. My post office doesn't open until 8:30, and since I was on my way to drop my daughter off at the bus stop anyways, I just swung around the corner and dropped it in the box so that when it opens up, it'll be there for them to scan and start to sort and be on its way. So those are two humanless, self-service types of conveniences that I use myself, that I'm guilty of myself. But I guess I kind of justify it because if the business is closed, it still gives me an opportunity to patronize that service or, you know, that business. But when the business is wide open and there are spots and slots and spaces that a human being can be employed at, but instead it's being replaced by artificial intelligence, that's when it starts to rub me the wrong way. So my question is, how much responsibility is it of business owners and enterprises to ensure jobs for people, or is it their responsibility at all? I mean, in a capitalist society and in the free market, it's all about how much profit you can make, and you're not necessarily responsible for people having a job. Now, if you employ them, you're responsible for their safety and to have certain benefits depending on the laws of the country or place that you're living in, but you're not responsible for making sure somebody has a job. And me wanting to be an entrepreneur, there are ways that I can profit more by using things like outsourcing, virtual assistants, things like that, instead of using local people. So again, I'm just as guilty of it. But how much responsibility, if any, is it of full-fledged businesses and mortar and brick stores to offer an equal amount of opportunity for employment versus replacing people with machinery? And how much of the responsibility is on us as the consumer to choose whether or not to use these types of conveniences. Last week when I looked at the Kroger that I showed you guys at an earlier clip, I was having a conversation with the checkout gentleman there, and he's been there for a while. He's been there since it was not so modern, and he was one of the original, cashiers for the midnight shift, which is I work midnights. So from time to time when I get off early, I swoop by my local Kroger, and I'm able to do my late night or early morning purchases. And I can understand why they would not have so many people at the cash registers in the middle of the night, because for the most part, people shop in the daytime. They shop during daylight hours, and then there's a few people like myself that are up in the middle of the night to justify paying people to man the registers. So I can understand why they have the option to use it, but it seems like that option is starting to become a standard, and it's just really making me uncomfortable. One quick point I want to make about the conversation I had with the cashier at Kroger. He wholeheartedly agreed with me and did not like the idea of the increasing amount of self-checkout machines, but he also counterpointed that we no longer have full-service gas stations where we pump our own gas. We have washing machines instead of having someone to come in and wash our clothes for us or do it for us, and many other modern conveniences that we use as an everyday thing that replace humans. So, touche. But again, I'm choosing to go and use those machines in the middle of the night because it's convenient for me and I'm already out, rather than waiting in the morning when there are people there to help check me out. Now, a couple of months ago, I was actually at my local Walmart, and I don't remember what time of day it was. It might have been the middle of the night, and they had all the regular registers closed, and they had only the self-checkout open. And I'm used to using them, but for some reason that particular day, I said, no, I want a human. Me, antisocial Kenya, wants a human. And I requested, I said, hey, is it possible for me to get somebody to check me out? And one of the people there said, actually it is. If you request it, we can open up a register for you to check out it. I said, it's not, and I think they said something like a lot of our older people don't really feel comfortable with the self-checkout for whatever reason. Maybe it's the technology. I said, I know how to use it. I don't want to. I want you to check me out so that you will have employment. And the lady said, I really appreciate that. I wish more people would do that. What's your thoughts on this? Is it whatever? Is it inevitable? Where does the responsibility lie? On the consumer? On the business owner? On government? I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. I just think it's really curious and a little bit scary as to where technology is taking us. The whole purpose of me making this is because this type of development is why one of the reasons why I feel so strongly why everybody should have at least one side hustle, one side gig, a small business, some form of extra income, because as time goes on and technology goes on and more jobs are being replaced, if you don't have your own business, hopefully you'll at least have a specialized skill or some type of expertise where it needs to be a human there. Stay educated, get your skills up, get your vocational skills up, and try your hand at business. Everybody tried at least once. I have not been that successful yet this year, but God willing, I will find my fortune and success in working for myself. For the next generation who may or may not want to work in a factory warehouse situation like I am with job security, those jobs might not even be available. I'm pretty sure my type of job is going to be taken over by artificial intelligence and robots as well. So we can't just be complacent and say, I've got a job, that's all that matters, or I work in this section, so it doesn't affect me. Eventually, it is going to affect us all. Again, I don't know what kind of solution there is to it, if there's anything. Yeah, just let me know what you guys think about this video and this topic about the self-checkout. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow me on social media.